31st July, 31st October, 30th November, 31st December. Oh, there are so many due dates for filing ITR, and you have no clue on what date is applicable for your case. Then worry not. In today's video, we are going to be breaking down all the due dates for income tax return that you need to file for FY 2021 and what would be the due date for you, whether you are an individual or running a business or filing because you have other income. Then watch this episode till the end because we will be discussing all the due dates that are applicable for FY 2021 and what would be the due date for filing for you. Let's get started. Hello, and I am Sonia Dawar, a chartered accountant and a business finance coach. And on this channel, we discuss all the tools, tips, and resources to help you start your business and take your passion into a profitable business, grow profits in your business, and grow your business with systems, with resources, and create your own wealth. Let's discuss our topic for the day, and what we are covering today are 7 income tax deadlines that you need to know for FY 2021. If you all know, the Income Tax Department has already released ITR forms, that is ITR 1 and ITR 4 for FY 2021, and you can start filing for your income tax returns if you know that all the TDS has been deposited for you. So this video will really help you with all the due dates that you need to stick to so that you can plan your income tax preparation accordingly and file it without any hassle. All the links in this video are given in the description below, so don't forget to go ahead and verify those links. So what we are covering today, we would be covering due date for filing your original ITRs. We would also be discussing what would be the due date for filing your tax audit report, what would be the due date for filing your transfer pricing audit report. Fourth, we would also be discussing what would be the due date for payment of self-assessment tax if you have not paid advance tax completely, or if you have any tax liability at the time of filing your income tax return, that is called as self-assessment tax, and we will be discussing what would be the due date for you to pay that self-assessment tax. And lastly, we will be discussing what would be the due date for filing a revised return if you make any mistake while filing your ITR, or if you couldn't file your ITR before the due date, and if you want to know till when you can file your ITR after the due date, we will be discussing. And there is a major change that has happened in the budget 2021, so you need to stick around till the end of this video so that you can know what are the new and revised dates by when you can file a revised ITR, or if you haven't, or if you couldn't file your ITR before the due date, by when you can file your ITR late, or belated ITR is what it is called. Now, this video is only talking about FY 2021. There has been extensions given for FY 1920. So if you haven't verified all those extensions that has been given, or if you are still required to file your ITR for FY 1920, there is a video which I will link to know all the income tax exemptions that has been given by the Income Tax Department considering the COVID scenario in our country that is happening and most of those extensions are actually for FY 1920. So go ahead and check this video. So the first due date that we are discussing, and I have divided all the due dates between whether audit is applicable to you or not. So the first due date is basically for all the individuals, HUF, firm, LLP, basically all the entities or all the person on whom audits are not applicable. So if you are any person and no statutory or tax audit is applicable to you, this due date is for you. Individuals, HUF, firm, LLP will have to file their ITRs by 31st of July 2021, and the typical ITR forms for such cases would be ITR 1, ITR 2, ITR 4 and ITR 3. The second scenario would be the due date for filing of original ITRs. We are not discussing for revised, belated, late, or anything. If you are filing the first ITR for FY 2021 and you are an individual, HUF, firm, LLP, company, trust, or any other person holding a PAN card and need to file your return, any audit is applicable. Now, this audit could be audit under Companies Act or audit under LLPs. So if you don't know, LLPs who crossed a turnover of 40 lakh rupees needs to mandatorily get statutory audit done under the LLP Act. It might not have any tax audit applicable, but you have to get a statutory audit under LLP Act. So if that audit also is applicable to you, then you will have, this is the deadline in your case, and that is 31st of October is the due date for filing of ITR if audit is applicable. So companies by default have to get all the companies have to get statutory audit done under the Companies Act. So even if tax audit is not applicable to you, you have to file your ITRs by 31st of October. Individuals, HUFs, firms, if you are running a business and tax audit is applicable to you, you need to file your ITR by 31st of October. Now that we have discussed so much about audit, let's discuss what is the due date for filing tax audit report. So tax audit is basically an audit under the Income Tax Act, and there are various scenarios under which tax audit could be applicable. I'm not discussing in detail the entities on which tax audit is applicable. So if you want me to consider or to guide you on which entities or on which businesses tax audit is applicable for FY 2021, drop me in the comments below that you want a separate video on tax audit, and we will consider to drop a separate video on applicability of tax audit. And this is actually it has become really complicated to know whether tax audit is actually getting applicable in your scenario or not. So if you are interested, let us know and we will give you a separate video on applicability of tax audit for FY 2021. And if it does applicable, then you need to file tax audit report in the form of 3CA and 3CD, or if you are a firm individual, you need to file 3CB and 3CD, and the due date for filing those forms are 30th of September. So you need to file your tax audit reports first, that is 3CA, 3CD, and after that you get 1 month time to prepare your ITR, and by 31st of October, which we discussed in point number 2, you have to file your ITRs if tax audit is applicable. So first file your tax audit reports and then prepare for your income tax report. The fourth scenario is basically for transfer pricing audit. So transfer pricing audit is done under 92E, not just only companies, but like other firms and other businesses who have related party transactions. So there could be two scenarios. If you have related party transactions in India, that's called domestic transfer pricing beyond the transaction limit of 5 crore rupees, then transfer pricing or domestic transfer pricing is applicable to you. But if you have a related party like a holding or subsidiary company outside of India, or like a common sub-subsidiary company or a common subsidiary company of one parent holding company, and you are having transactions between each other internationally, then irrespective of turnover and irrespective of volume or the number of transactions, transfer pricing or what we call as international transfer pricing will be applicable to you. And in those cases, you need to provide a transfer pricing audit report, the due date of which we will discuss in the next point. But you get extra time to prepare your ITR, and in those cases, you can file ITR by 30th of November. Now that we have discussed the due date for filing ITR for TP transfer pricing is like, in short, in the CA terminology is called as TP. So the TP audit report is to be filed by 30th of November. Let's discuss what would be the due date for filing this transfer pricing audit report, and that would be 31st of October. So again, just like how you file your tax audit report first. Um, if transfer pricing audit is applicable, then you file your transfer pricing audit report. And if transfer pricing audit is applicable, then you get another 1 month to prepare your ITR and then file your ITR. So I hope I'm clear. So in cases where for companies, transfer pricing audit and tax audit both are applicable, they have to file their tax audit report by 30th September. Then you need to file your transfer pricing report by 31st of October, and then you get another 1 month to prepare and file your original ITR, and you can file it by 30th of November. So the next scenario, what would be the due date for filing your self-assessment tax? And as I mentioned earlier, self-assessment tax is the tax that you pay at the time of filing your ITR, and the due date for paying the self-assessment tax would be the due date of filing your original ITR. By that time, you need to also pay the self-assessment tax before you file your ITR. However, we highly suggest that you compute your advance tax liabilities and pay all the taxes that are applicable in your case by 31st of March of that financial year, so that you don't have to incur any interest on those taxes. Because when you pay self-assessment tax and you have not paid sufficient advance tax, you will need to pay interest under 234 ABC. So there are some sections under which you will need to pay interest at the time along with paying of your taxes, and you don't want to. That's like a expense that you can avoid. The last point, and where it has a major change as compared to previous year and now, the due date for filing revised ITR. So if you have made any mistake in filing your original ITR, you have the chance to revise your ITR. Or if you cannot file your ITR by the due date, then you have the chance to file a belated ITR. And in this year, this is the first year in which there is this amendment, and the government has basically reduced the timeline by which you can file your revised ITR or belated ITR. The sections under which you do this is 139.4 and 139.5 for belated return, and the due date for filing ITR under these sections have been reduced to 31st of December. The change has been done to give effect to all the technological advances or that has been brought out by the income tax department in the current year. So you get a lot of information pre-filled at the time of filing your return, or the faceless assessment that has been introduced by income tax department. So your timeline has been reduced substantially to prepare for your ITRs, and that's why government think that reducing this timeline so that the processing also can happen faster, and they have introduced or revised or like the reduced timeline to file your revised return or belated return by 31st of December. With this, I hope you all now know what is the due date that you need to plan and prepare for your taxes. And if you need any other help in terms of understanding any information that you need to update in your ITR, and we are preparing for a 5-day series event where we would be discussing all the mistakes that people make, that we have seen in our experience, that has led people to pay more money in terms of taxes, or get a notice from income tax department, or not get the refund which they are legitimate to receive, but they don't get it because of certain mistakes that they make while filing their ITR. We will help you with all of those mistakes, and we will be discussing over a period of 5 days the mistakes that people make in filing their ITRs. And if you want to attend it live, then do subscribe this channel, and we will be posting that event very shortly. If you want to know all the tax deductions that are applicable to you, that you need to make advantage or to make use of, download this guide here, and the link of this will be in the description below. It's a free guide and it will let you know of all the tax deductions that is available to you as an individual. So I hope you like the like this video. And if you do, don't forget to uh, hit the like button and subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you can get all the future content that we will be sharing with you. And your like will actually help us reach more in terms of algorithms. So do hit the like button if you got value in this video. And now, Sonia Dawar signing off. Bye.